Hello Capricorn, how are you Capricorn? So Capricorn, I'm going to be doing your Saturn Jupiter conjunction reading for the next 20 years. I'll be talking about your past, present and future. But before that, let's see what's going to happen for this conjunction for you. So this Saturn Jupiter conjunction is going to be in your second house. And this is going to be about how you make money, because you're earth sign like Taurus and Virgo. So this is about, how you're going to be earning money, and you could find yourself, being a bit more bold and trying to have like a more of a solid foundation. There could also be some losses that can happen. And I say it could be losses because if you don't expand like yourself, and also, losses also is to do with like a karmatic thing. So it's about not expanding. It's also about holding on to things too tight. It's also about greed as well. So that also can cause a loss, especially if we have this Saturn coming out of your sign. It's out of your sign now, so the star of the show. So some of you could have actually been very limited in sharing your finances. And also we have the conjunctions in Capricorn that is happening, which is about unearthing how you'll be viewing yourself and your self-worth, which is to do with money, and deconstructing it and starting all over again. So some of you may have to start all over again now, but the losses also could be is because you're not doing good financially in terms of like not, how can I put this, some of you could also not be doing bad business deals, so you may have to start all over again. But this is you're gonna find like a brand new way of doing this. And but what will force your hand is it's about you expanding as well, expanding your mind, trying something new. And it could be like a new invention with how you're spending and saving, investing as well. You could also be doing these things online too, and also creating, because the second house is ruled by Taurus, but it's also about what your worth is. What are you actually good at as well? These are things you're going to have to look at. There's also going to be a time to expand your vision on what you about your passions and skills. Yeah, so it's like more or less the same thing. So you're going to have to find a way. If you could grow your finance at this time, but you may have some losses because of limiting your mind. But your mind's going to be expanded, and these things are going to actually teach and help you, Capricorn. And you're very reluctant to change course, especially when it's concerning like your career and finances. But there's going to be a huge change and a huge course in things, and you're going to find yourself, especially if you're a boss of a company and you're being very stingy with funds, for instance, your hand may be forced as well. So that can cause a loss as well. Or you may, decide that, this is not making me happy. I actually want to do this instead. So that can also make you not have as much money as well, because you might take a pay cut, or do you know what I mean? So these things can actually happen too. But the losses could be anything as well. But just be open to like, you may have a lot now, but you may not have a lot later on as well. Because, even though Aquarius is Uranus, it is sudden. It is ruled by Capricorn too in Western astrology, but it's Uranus and it's very sudden, it's unexpected. So unexpected things can change. Don't think that things are going to stay the same. Don't think that you got it in the bag, because things actually just change. And that's just not for you, it's for everyone. But I think if it's in your money house, this is when you have to be very careful. I think some of you actually may your minds may be a bit more open to what's going on as well. Or, like I said, your hand will be forced to be open your mind to things. So that's what can happen. I know it might sound a bit down, Capricorn, but it's not just you. It's like the UK as well. It's Capricorn sign, and this is going to be in the second house. So money, will be, if you don't share, it will be taken from you, or you might have limited resources. And if you do share, this is what can happen as well. So but also just don't forget to connect to your heart what you actually want, Capricorn. you know. So Capricorn, if we are going to go back to the past, which I think a lot of you like, yeah, because some of you actually like living in the past, not your fault because it's Saturn, you know, but in the past, you know, this conjunction we had in Taurus was in your 9th house. Now the 9th house is to do with, you know, your belief system, your learning and teaching, and, you know, higher learning, also to do with like gurus, you know, people from different faraway places, long distance travel. But some of you Capricorns may have traveled, you know, may have started to travel, you know, but it was mostly mostly could have been more for business travel. Some of you Capricorns also didn't want to travel, you just wanted to stick to where you were actually are. I'm also seeing like in terms of like learning and that, some of you may have been resistant to learn new things, and this may have caused problems. But some of you actually were, even though you were very resistant, you were open to seeing what you could learn, which could actually enhance you and enhance your mind. And your belief system as well could have actually changed, or it could be, you know, because Taurus, you know, you and Taurus trine each other, your earth family. So even your belief system, even though there was room for change, some of you actually didn't want to change. And it's probably a real shame if that did happen, because you could have learned so much, you know. And I think if there was change, the change was forced on a lot of you, that you had to change, or this would have happened, you know. And but a lot of you were very much about enhancing yourself, but mostly for like the pleasure of like and learning, but mostly for the pleasure of building something, building like a business career, or trying to get ahead in your career. Some of you actually could have been teachers as well. Yeah, some of you could actually have been teachers, teaching kids, teaching, you know, colleges, teenagers, you know. But some of you actually probably stuck to the rules, didn't want to like veer off. You know, very, very strict. We're also strict within yourselves in terms of like making sure the work's done, making sure that it was correct as well. So, but it was mostly to do with like your career and future. That's why you were like that. And your cards for the past also was the 8 of action, and the 8 of action is the 8 of wands, and it's the sun in Virgo. Yeah. So the 8 of action is first decan. So if you're like last decan of Leo, going on to the first decan of Virgo. So it's like an Aries Virgo card. Yeah. So, you know, I'm feeling for some of you, you know, relationships may have taken a back seat because you're so concerned with like your career. And there could have been some aloofness in relationships as well, and also in some family. Also, you know, it was all about climbing up the career, the ladder of success. And there could have also been some ruthlessness going on as well. Remember, we're going back from 2000 till now, yeah? And also, especially with it being in your 8th house as well. So, also the 8 of wands is a card of creativity and drive and energy, success, and also financial achievement. So this is what a lot of you may have been on in the past. A lot of you also kept very busy, you know, your energy wise, you had a lot of energy, even though sometimes it could have been flagging, but you knew, you know, you were working towards a goal. And some of you actually worked alone a lot. I have a feeling deep down a lot of unhappiness as well, a lot of unhappiness, but you didn't want to really focus on that too much. You know, you were focused on your future, and you know, you didn't want to think about that as well. Some of you could have always also have been your own worst enemy and wanted to be close to someone, but felt, you know, if you were close to someone, that they will hinder your progress. And, you know, that's why a lot of you appeared aloof, appeared cold, because some of you, if we're going to go way back, you know, some of you may have gotten hurt, very hurt, or you may have seen something that made you very protective. And, you know, but some of you also had success in your career and business, especially if you're coming from Saturn in Capricorn. A lot of success, and, you know, was assured, you know, but there was, you know, like I said, even though like there was like a ruthlessness, the ruthlessness could have also been, an aloofness could have been in a relationship. So if someone wasn't doing that you felt, especially if they had a lot of potential and they weren't really moving up their potential, you will feel no way to leave them. Yeah, because you were all about climbing up the career ladder. Energy was there to pursue your goals, you know. And even though some of you actually wanted to like move very fast, you knew that the end game was like, you know, you have to be strategic in order to climb the ladder of success. But you know, like I said, there was some loneliness going on, a lot of loneliness, and I'm feeling that some of you may have been quite depressed as well, but you poured all of that loneliness and depression into your work. So I'm not surprised that a lot of you are successful now, but you know, at what cost? This is the thing, you have to ask yourself, at what cost? Because you know, when you are successful, you want to share your success with someone, you know. And I have a feeling that some of you are very much alone. And if you're not alone and you are with someone, you're alone in the heart, because you're still not satisfied. The satisfaction is still not there. Even though you've got what you want, especially in terms of material wealth or success, there's something still that is, you know, pulling at your heartstrings, even if you don't want to admit it. So that is in your past from 2000 till now. In your present, we have the Ace of Abundance, and the Ace of Abundance is the Four of Pentacles, which is a earth sign. It's actually the Sun in Capricorn, which is the third decan, which is the last decan, you know. And the third decan, especially if we're going to this conjunction, which is in 0 degrees of Aquarius, people that are third decan Capricorn, they're going to be affected by this. So this is about prosperity, bankers, lawyers, people moving up to the you know, middle class and upper class, people moving up in the world. So for you in the present, you know, a lot of you may be careful in not what, you know, this card is actually saying, you know, if you are alone, be careful that if you are like successful, be careful not to end up alone because of this success. You know, a lot of you also may be holding on to success as well. As you can see, the person is holding money. Yeah, and it could be the sign of greed. Yeah, so there's a lot of like working really hard going on for you at the moment, especially in this next 20 years, working very hard. If you didn't build a successful career then, you're working to build it now. Or if you did build it in the past, you're working to build it even bigger. So some of you could end up really being alone. I'm also feeling that there's some greed going on, especially you know, there could be some greed in a relationship as well. And you know, it's open, and some of you are also looking to actually share your wealth in a relationship. Yeah, and it's not just your wealth, it's your heart too. So I'm also could be, you know, I'm also sensing with you in the present that there's a fear of losing things. And a lot of you Capricorns might be thinking this fear of losing is my money, but it's actually losing your heart. You're actually scared of getting heartbroken, but you're pursuing all of it in your money and your career. Some of you could also be get hurt in a personal relationship, and you know, it could take you years to get over. So because even though some of you could be concentrating a lot more on your career, and if you ever got a relationship, you want to build that, you know, foundation, some of you could actually get hurt because the person may be sick and tired of waiting for you to commit or waiting for you to actually open up. So sometimes, so in this essence, someone could actually leave. You know, now is the time to really open up, Capricorn. You know, if it's to do with friends, therapy, a partner, you know, because there's a fear of commitment going on, and some could actually leave a job and make an effort more in their personal life. Some also, you know, this is a pivotal time for some of you, you know, because Saturn has left your sign, and you know, it's taught you a lot about, you know, about your responsibilities, but your responsibilities now for your relationship. So you can have it both, Capricorn. You can have a personal and private life, but now's the time to open up. You do need to open up. You know, yes, it's about money and it's about career now, but no one wants to be alone. And I think even deep down, a lot of you don't want to be alone. But I think there's a lot of past hurt that is going on, that's why you're working so hard to not feel it, what happened to you in the past. So that's why you're working so hard. You want to, you know, be the best, and there's nothing wrong with being the best. But like I said, from the past, at what cost? You know, if you are looking to open your heart, you're going to find you're going to be a bit more happier. You know, but like I said, some of you could leave a job because your personal life is going to take more of a, you know, it's going to be more present now. You know, so you know that in order for you to be happy, you're going to have to leave something. And even though I did say for a lot of you that, you know, there can be some money losses that can happen as well, but you can rebuild it again and not be scared. You know, money comes and money goes. You know, that's what you guys have to constantly remind yourself as well. Yeah. So this is about you know, yes, you're going to be building money. Some of you may lose money, but your personal life is going to take first choice, or it should start to make first choice now. And it doesn't matter if you lose something along the way, because you're going to gain even better. So that's your present for this conjunction. And you have in your future financial discipline. So even though this is in your financial house, if you lose any money, Capricorns, or you build money and you find yourself spending or hoarding, you're going to have to gain financial discipline. And this is going to be a lot. It's going to be time, you know, especially with Saturn in your second house. It's about reassessing how you look at money altogether as well. And you could also be, you know, it's also about, because it's pink, you know, it's about abundance as well. So you're also going to have to connect to your heart. So there's going to be a balance need to be in mind. And, you know, I'm feeling more for you. A lot of you Capricorns, you will always be successful. But your success is going to come from, your worldly success is going to come from the heart. And that is going to be because you're opening your heart to a relationship. Yeah. And if you are in a relationship, and even though it's taken a bit of a backseat, especially in your present, you know, the person can only wait for so long. They can only wait for so long, Capricorn. And you don't want to be like the Scrooge, in Charles Dickens film. You don't want to be like the Scrooge, working hard and, you know, not having fun. It's only when Scrooge faced death, or if he didn't change his ways, that's when he changed his ways. You want to do it now. Now is the time. Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn in your sign has taught you a lot of lessons. And it wasn't just about building, building wealth and holding on and being stingy. It was also about sharing your wealth and sharing your heart as well. Because you'll be more abundant. You know, so when it says financial discipline, that is about also, you know, disciplining your mind, body and heart as well, and looking at why you are the way you are when it comes to money. Yeah. And once you be honest with yourself, especially when it comes to money, you'll be honest with how you actually feel deep down inside, in the way you actually are. You know, good things are coming to you, Capricorn. You just have to be not be. And also, you are scared. A lot of you are very scared. And, you know, especially when you're in a relationship or entering a new relationship, everyone's scared because no one wants to get hurt. No one wants to get cheated on. But if you live in fear, you will end up being alone. And I think some of you, you know, whether you know it or not, it's that fear as well of not wanting to be alone too. Because you need to share your things with people. You want to share your passion and soul with someone, you know, and that person is there in the future, or the person is there now. You know, you just have to just get out from the work just to see it. Yeah. So Capricorn, that was your Saturn Jupiter conjunction tarot message for your past, present and future. I really hope you guys like this message. You know, feel free to come back to it if you need like that guided message again. And, you know, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.